Hi everyone, this is Sarah, the Catholic Homemaker. Today I want to talk to you about the newest podcast, Catholic podcast that just came out, The Bible in a Year by Father Mike Schmitz. Now, I had heard about it for a couple weeks now, and I wasn't quite sure if I was going to do it. I was like, well, I've already read the Bible myself, and I can certainly do that. I've actually read the entire Bible cover to cover one time so far. And before we get into the podcast, let me just say welcome to my channel to all of you, and any of you who are new, please consider subscribing to my channel so we can grow this community. And please hit the thumbs up button if you like this video, and hit the notification for all notifications so you know when I post, which is every Monday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. So when you're watching this video go live, the Bible in a Year podcast will be on day 11. And so far, the podcast has gone through a good bit of Genesis, Psalms, Proverbs, and Job. And I kept on hearing about this podcast, and I was like, I'm going to check it out. And I really loved it from the very first episode. So episode 1 came out on January 1st of 2021. So Father Mike Schmitz is going to go through the entire Bible, Genesis through Revelation, all 365 days of 2021. So it's really awesome, especially if you have never read the Bible cover to cover before, or if you just simply want to deepen your faith. It's a really great podcast. And I wasn't sure if I was going to share it on my YouTube channel, but I felt compelled to do so just because of how much I love it so far. And I have to say, even though I've read the Bible, I'm definitely not an expert with the Bible, and I'm definitely learning and relearning things. And it's especially helpful because Father Mike Schmitz not only goes through the readings, he goes through 2 to 3 scripture readings throughout each episode, which is like 20 to 25 minutes, but he also does a reflection and a prayer throughout the podcast. So after doing the readings, he does a prayer, and then he does a reflection on those readings, which is especially helpful if you are not a biblical scholar. So I know when he was going through part of the Noah story, there was something in there that I didn't even realize. I won't get into the specifics of it, but it was really helpful for him to break down what the meaning of that actually was, because I clearly did not know. He goes into what it actually means. He says it's an idiomatic expression, and this is what it actually means, or this is what biblical scholars often say that it means. So it made so much more sense to me. And I guess if you know the Bible well enough, you might know what part I'm talking about. But if you listen to it, you'll definitely know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I think it's just so fulfilling. It's a great thing to add to your daily routine. It's really not that much of your time you're taking away. And if you're looking to add in something that allows you to grow closer to God, you can check it out. It's actually rated the #1 podcast in America right now. So it's pretty amazing. It's really growing in popularity, and I think that's wonderful. Especially because I don't know if this has been done before by anyone, let alone specifically for Catholics. Because if you're not aware, we as Catholic Christians actually have a separate Bible than other Christians, because we have more books of the Bible than Protestant religions do, because they refer to certain books that we have in our Bibles as the Apocrypha, and we as Catholics refer to it as the Deuterocanonical books. And one of those includes, 2 of them are the 2 books of the Maccabees, and one book, which is my absolute favorite book of the Bible, is Tobit. If you all have never read Tobit before, it is a wonderful, beautiful story. So I encourage you to read it, and it is not even that long of a book in the Bible. It's not as long as some of the books, so it's definitely something if you're kind of curious about. It won't take you that long to read. If you were wondering what version of the Bible is used, it is the Great Adventure Bible, and it uses the Revised Standard Version Second Catholic Edition, or the RSV 2CE translation of the Bible. This Bible, the New Jerusalem Bible, is one that we've been using in our home for several years, or even before I got married. My husband recommended it to me because he said it is the best translation of the Bible. So you can see the whole book if you're interested. I really like it, and it's interesting. I don't know, some people make different arguments about what the best translation of it is, but I trust what he's saying in that. Thought I'd throw it out there in case you guys were interested, but they say on the podcast, you don't have to have a Bible or even that particular Bible to follow along. You can sign up for their email list if you want to get the daily readings and actually like physically read them yourself. But I personally like this translation. I'm not actually following along. I'm just listening to it as I listen to the podcast. But anyway, I'm very excited about this podcast, and I hope this has been very helpful to you. I think it will continue to help me deepen my faith, and I hope by sharing this with you, you will check it out, and hopefully it will also deepen your faith this year in 2021. And with that, I will talk to you all next time, and may God bless you and your families.